Does it give you the option to? I don't have a way. Yeah, no.
Oh, Mean is awesome. Okay, let me see. I'm on the thing. Subscribed.
I'm waiting for Mina to jump on the chat.
I think she's on there. Somebody's like, I got a new Cool Ranch tater chips and French onion dip ready to rock with the ginger ale to wash it down. What?
I forgot to change the time on the chat, so I'm gonna be 60 seconds behind you guys. So just FYI, because usually I change it to like 15 seconds so I could see things right away.
I'm trying to just figure out how I can join this on my end. I'm still learning YouTube. Yeah, I'm wondering if you'll be able to just like share the live stream to the Zoom.
If I could connect it. It only allows them. I'm gonna send it to you via text message and see if you could come in.
Okay, so basically, I'm watching your thing right now.
It's not letting you like come in with me then, huh?
I'm checking it out.
It's okay. You're recording from your end too?
I'm gonna.
Because I could do this. And then I have you here like live and we're recording the Zoom.
Oh, now I see what you mean. You're gonna put it on the thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
We can do that. That way they can see the chart and stuff.
I guess when you're doing your reading, though, you just put it on you.
Yeah, and I'll just put it on. Yeah. So let me pull the cards out.
Okay.
And then we could start. And then since you could manage, you could see the chat on that side as well. You could help me and me to manage the chat. So let me pull these out. Do you want to talk about the Sacral Chakra Oracle deck with us, Makayla? While I'm doing this here, that way.
Yep. I'm going to record on my end. I'm just do an intro, okay?
Alrighty.
This meeting is being recorded.
Got it.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Star of the Universe Tarot today. I'm with my friend Debbie. And welcome back to the Scenic for Astrology also. We're just deciding to do a collaboration in true Libra fashion for the Libra new moon that's coming up this weekend. So Debbie's going to pull the cards for us and grab the energy first around the new moon, and then I'm going to go in and talk about the transits and what you can expect, for this lunation cycle coming up. It will be on September 25th on Sunday. I see the start for East Coast time, so that is 5:54 p.m. my time. So you'll just want to draw the chart up for your correct time zone. Debbie, I think, is using my deck today, which I'm super stoked about, which is the Sacral Chakra Oracle deck. And we are doing a free giveaway to a person. We need 100 what are we going to do? 100 subscribers?
We're trying to do, we'll try to do 50 for the live stream just because, it's our first time out here. You guys are really interested. Mina's going to be in our chat room managing that. So she'll be managing donations. She'll be managing the Sacral Chakra list, and then also she'll be advertising the free questions that I give every other Friday. If you guys are looking for tarot and oracle reads and you just need answers now.
Yeah, I'm just going to be super generous and throw it out there, right? Okay, so for the first 50 people who subscribe to both Star of the Universe Tarot YouTube channel and the Scenic Astrology YouTube channel, I'll give you a free oracle deck. So
wow, that's amazing.
Contact, yeah. So the first 50 subscribers. So Mina in the chat's going to be taking care of that and taking down the names, and then yeah, you'll get a free deck after that.
So Mina, just to make sure that you caught that, Makayla said the first 50 subscribers for both the Scenic Root Astrology and for Star of the Universe Tarot will receive a Sacral Chakra Oracle deck. So please make sure that you check that in with Mina, and we'll go ahead and we'll figure that out as we go. Meanwhile, let's navigate these transits and see what energies are coming in. Ooh, you saw that? Look, Chiron heel in the reverse. Okay.
Oh, wow.
So, first off, both yours and my collective is going to be a little wounded, let's say. There's gonna be an Achilles heel moment. We're gonna be trying to move forward and press forward, maybe on an issue, situation. Some of us, it could be health, depending on where you have Chiron, right, Makayla? It can manifest in different ways, but Chiron is all about healing. So having it in the reverse, you never want to resist the healing because it just makes it harder. Look, retrograde review under the deck, six planets in retrograde, right?
Yep.
So our guides are very much here, very much showing us what's coming up. For us, we have second house of resources, and then we have fourth house home. So definitely some Librian energy here as far as manifesting some change. Look, Uranus, you could be dealing with a Taurus here or an Aquarius. Let's take all of these. Yeah. So what this is telling me right here before we even do any clarifications is if you are not in a position to heal yourself, you are not in a position to manifest right now. If you think that you're failing your Mercury retrograde or your retrograde review in general, because like we are like 6 planets deep, right? So it will manifest in your resources. So make sure that you don't take that step off the bridge. Don't do that full card in the reverse energy where you're jumping and not taking the time to step back and look at your opportunities. Because remember, when you're manifesting, especially during new moons, you can manifest in abundance, but not every opportunity is for you. So make sure you're aligning with your, not only with your best interest, but with your higher self. You want to make sure that you check in with your ancestors, your spirit guides, and make sure that you are still in the correct path that you need to be on. And I feel like there's going to be a lot of resting needing to be done, recalibrating of your energy, recalibration of your home. There could be some feng shui needed in your, if you're feeling stagnant or you're feeling like a need for a change of scenery, but don't feel like you have the resources, right here with the second house. Make home a place in your heart, not a place where you are stuck at. Don't create your own jail. 8 of Swords energy, that Gemini and Mars energy. Okay, let's feature some Sacral Chakra Oracle. Go a little bit deeper on what is it that maybe the collective is trying to avoid healing right now.
Especially on the manifestation that you were talking about. Yeah. It's weird that the retrograde card was under the deck.
Yeah, like it's really, if we think, this is why we do this, right, Makayla? Because if we think that the transits have nothing to do with what's going on our day-to-day lives, Tell me Spirit's not here to say otherwise, right? Tell me this don't go hand in hand together. People have been trying to say that this is like, it's two different worlds. No, it's all of the same. This is a spiritual and that chart is a tangible. We see what we need. It's almost like that earth sign vibe, what you need. And then this is the like air sign element, like this is, or even water, right? What you feel.
Yep.
Clarify Chiron, heal in the reverse. Look, your inner child. Six of Cups energy. There's definitely things from the past that do not want to be touched. You guys, those are some of our deepest, darkest secrets that we have in treasure boxes in Never Neverland, right? Neptune energy, right? I think Pluto is about to go direct when October 2nd, around there. So I feel like that's going to be the final blow on this. Like, have you healed your inner child yet? Have you looked at those aspects that are fun? Not because you are convincing yourself that it's fun, but because it's fun for you. Oh, this is naturally what I want to do. This is naturally tugging at my soul. This is what I need to manifest. And then poof, Abraham Hicks vibes, right? Vortex open and everything starts coming to you. Retrograde review. Ooh, Seven of Cups energy. What was I saying about those opportunities? Some opportunities are half-assed. Do not allow yourself to be in illusion here with this Seven of Cups. I feel like this seven beacon of Neptune here. That's what the Seven of Cups represents in the tarot. So that's Pisces, that's Scorpio energy as well. You want to be careful not to overgive in situations where people have already proved to you that all they know how to do is take. Look, pleasure in the reverse, Lover's card in the reverse. Yeah, and then look, ancestral trauma in the reverse too. So that's what it is. It's like, it's not, when you're anytime we heal ourselves, we know that we're healing 7 generations forward and 7 generations backwards. That's what this ancestral trauma in the reverse here is telling me, that if you ignore these issues of the inner child, if we ignore these Six of Cups issues from the past, we're not going to be able to access those inheritances that our ancestors, that our guides want to bless us with. Those resources, second house energy that they want to bestow on us. If you do not feel willing and deserving, they will match that energy. That's what the universe does. The collective shadow. We are supposed to be bad all by ourselves. Nine of Pentacles energy. Love yourself for what you bring to the table. Seven of Cups energy. And let those people that half-ass it bring their half-ass shit to the table and let them eat their own pot. It's like Gemini energy again. That Mars energy is real present here. But Gemini energy, Tupac energy is like, I don't, just because you did me wrong doesn't mean I don't want you to eat. I just don't want you to eat at my table. It's like you had a chance to be. This is Mercury retrograde energy right here. You had a chance to be in my life. You had a chance to make something work, and now that you feel guilty, or now that you feel that you finally seen the error of your ways, it does not mean that you deserve access to me. And that's ultimately what we're going to be moving forward towards. We don't need what no longer serves us, right?
Yep.
All right.
I can't wait to get to the chart.
Yeah, right. To confirm all of this, right? Oh, okay. So we're gonna do this final clarification with the tarot just to get some more confirmation, and then we're gonna see that chart just to really tie it up in a nice little bow. Clarify this inner child. Wow, look at this, the Devil card here. Toxic addictions, toxic patterns, toxic thoughts, believing that you're not good enough, dealing with narcissistic people, situations, parents, sometimes other children because they didn't know any better. Sometimes we don't realize growing up, like our classmates are such projections of their parents, until they break that mold, right? In middle school, high school, till they understand that they're their own individual and they don't need to be controlled.
Yeah.
Pink Floyd vibes. We don't need no education. Seven of Cups. Ace of Wands. Yeah, that's how do you get into this new energy? By breaking away from toxic patterns. You deserve a new beginning, and you deserve a new beginning in any aspect of your life, especially things that you are passionate about, especially things that are going to bring you your manifestation, right? Because the Ace of Wands, all aces are gifts from the universe. This is a gift and something that you are very passionate about. Whatever that wants to manifest in your life, whatever you are willing to receive. And that depends on these blockages that because the Devil card too is a blockage, right? What blockages are you going to allow yourself to release? Some people it's distant lovers or people who they thought they were their soulmates or their twin flames or their long list of confusion, right? Don't try to put a name on something that you feel through it, because the moment that you start trying to give logic ability to things that are not meant to be thought but felt, you can change your intention, you could change the mood, you could change the very vibration of a gift that was meant for you just because you overthought it. Seven of Swords energy. Could be dealing with an Aquarius. A lot of Aquarian energy, huh?
Right.
Oh, Three of Swords here. Yeah, some people need to let go of some heartbreak, some grudges in the past. Librian energy. This is Libra moon energy here, the Three of Swords. So it does not surprise me that this is the moon to manifest away from these types of energies, away from holding grudges, away from, you know what, fuck that guy for hurting me, or fuck that bitch, and because, you know, it's like forgiveness is not for them, forgiveness is for you, so that you don't feel this pain. But it's up to you how you want to transmute that energy, because sometimes, you know, our words are stronger than we realize, especially in anger, especially in a heightened emotion, because that's what the universe feels the most. So when you're yelling, oh, this person did blah, 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 and you're accepting that energy of the victim, the universe will find a way to confirm that for you. And you never want to confirm or confirmation. Look, Two of Swords in the bottom of the deck. You never want confirmation from the universe that you're the victim, because they will show you what it's like to be the victim. And that's up to you if you want to manifest that in your energy. Like, you can always do the opposite. You could always release it and allow yourself to manifest. Like, you know what? Okay, what did I learn from these past heartaches? What did I learn from these past lovers? What did I learn from this blockage? What did I learn from this toxic addiction? Whatever it may be, because everybody likes to play with something different. Clarify ancestral trauma. The Six of Pentacles. So what are you giving generously to that actually you should be giving back to yourself? There's unbalance here. Yeah, because you want stability, right? That's what we're all manifesting. We want a stable partner. The Four of Wands is also somebody. Ooh, okay.
Oh. All those.
Right? Kind of slapped me in the face a little bit. You want this, don't be... Hello. The Queen of Swords is telling me that there is a bit of heartache that's being denied here. You don't want to look at it. You don't want to look at it. You don't want to look at it. I'm over it. I'm over it. I'm over it. But no, you're not over it. It's like, it's funny because my mom was watching that movie, Diary of a Mad Black Woman, from one of the Medea movies, right? And Medea, she goes, I knew I wasn't over the man that died for she has separated from somebody, and she goes to a funeral, and she goes, that man used to beat me, and when I went there, I thought I was over it, but now he's 8 feet under. And they're like, isn't it supposed to be 6 feet under? She goes, yeah, it was 6 feet. And then I beat up 2 more feet. I wasn't over it. And that's where it's like people are like, okay, like stop putting yourself in these situations where you are clearly defying to yourself you're not over it. Why put yourself in a position to do it publicly when you could do it basically in the comfort of your own home? Four of Wands energy, right? Don't allow social media to influence you into what is comfortable, that we have to tell everybody that we're going through shit so that it could be validated. No, understand that some discernment, right? Discernment.
Yeah.
That is I think a beautiful Librian lesson as far as the new moon too. And the Six of Pentacles is a minor arcana of the Libra card, of the Justice card. So there are balances here, there are injustices here that are going to be rectified so long as you allow it through this Queen of Cups energy, not the Queen of Swords energy, Queen of Cups. Allow yourself to feel your information, feel the downloads, feel the forgiveness that could potentially come from this new moon, because if not, then you're going to be harboring some heartache here, and that's definitely going to be like that South Node energy, where you're going to store this into that Scorpio South Node as lessons for their lifetimes, and that's not the energy you want to store. That's the energy you want to release, so that you could align yourself with that Taurus North Node, so that you could continue to vibe through the next year until we go into the next Node shifts.
Yep, absolutely.
All right.
This is spot on. This is spot on for the new moon.
All right.
I can't wait.
Let's see this chart.
All right, I'll bring it up. So that's. So thank you for that. I love your tarot readings. By the way, if you have not booked a reading with her, I've been booking readings with her now for like over a year, and she's amazing.
I always love.
Annoyingly spot on. All right, let me share my screen.
And you guys and I watch her astrology readings just the same. So just know that this is why our energy is vibing so beautifully.
We're fans of each other. Can you see my arrow moving?
Yes.
Okay.
Can we see it over there? Yeah.
So everybody, here's the chart for the Libra new moon. And Debbie's right. A lot of this is about the relationships that you have in your life, to include the one with yourself and then the ones with others, because that's what Libra is about. Okay, Libra in the natural zodiac rules the 7th house. Its planetary ruler is Venus, and Venus is co-ruled by Taurus. Okay, and we have a lot of strong Taurus energy in this chart as well. So, which is making the new moon will eventually make an inconjunction to the North Node in the Uranus and Taurus. So we will essentially, within a week or so, be integrating the dynamics that are evolving under this new moon. We'll be integrating that over the next 2 weeks or so. Okay. So you want to obviously look where 2 degrees and 48 minutes is in Libra in your chart, because that's where this new moon will be taking place. And it's really important to understand that it is conjunct Mercury retrograde, which is in Virgo, also conjunct Venus in Virgo. So we have this rolling conjunction over here where Mercury and Venus are in a closing aspect, it's a disseminating aspect into the sun. So this actually is about bringing some type of closure between relationships and the way that you've been thinking about relationships, and holding on to some type of guilt or remorse, or a heavy energy that, makes you feel overcritical about yourself, or maybe you're ruminating too much around the past, or ruminating like, I could have done this better, or, I wish I had done this, or I wish I was more perfect in this area, or, any type of way that we can look back to the past, which is happening because Mercury is retrograde and Mars is in this retrograde shadow. So we have all these planets that are actually retrograde in the chart. So there is a need for us to bring up the past dynamics in our lives, but it's time to close them out, and it's time to bring them to a full circle of closure.
May I say something, Makayla?
Huh?
May I say something in regards to that? I think when we're looking into the past to close out these chapters, one of the biggest things that we are, I think, missing as a collective is that instead of going through that, oh, I should have done this better or I should have known better, I think is the biggest one that we like to beat ourselves and like to a crisp with, right? We need to shift that perspective, right? Pisces energy, Hangman energy, and look at ourselves in a more forgiving way. Whereas, you know what? You didn't know better at the time. And it's okay that you did not know better at the time.
Yes. So Virgo energy, from the evolutionary perspective, does hold guilt in its archetype. It is associated with that, like on a very deep, unconscious, collective, ancestral level. Like we carry that within the archetype. And the antidote is in the Pisces, right? We'll get to that, the opposition to the Neptune. Because, Debbie's right. The antidote is in Pisces, which is about letting go. It's about surrender. And there is a repeating theme because Venus and Mercury are conjunct together in this disseminating aspect to the sun and the moon and the new moon. That is a Pisces aspect in itself. A disseminating aspect it takes on that Pisces aspect. But then you also have Mercury opposite Neptune, okay? And Venus it's already in an opposition to Neptune, but it's going to become exact within the next day because Venus moves pretty fast. It's going to go to 25 to 27 degrees the next day on that Monday. And so basically it is about whenever we want to look for the answer to a certain planetary energy that's perhaps acting in a negative way or, its shadow side, because every archetype does, we'll look to the opposite side of the chart, we'll look to the opposite sign because those positive qualities that sign has becomes the antidote for the energy that we're dealing with. So you have this huge conjunction right now with the new moon in Libra that's asking you to be really discerning about the dynamics that you did in the past and basically heal yourself because Virgo energy wants you to heal. And so really get clean about what it needs to be healed. Like that could be your diet, that could be the bad habits that you've been picking up, that could be repetitive relationship dynamics, and they will come back right now to you because Mercury is retrograde. So you will be tested again, right? The universe wants to show you something for you to look at again with an even clearer, coherent way and precise way of looking at the relationship dynamic that went on. Like, say we're talking about a relationship right now, look at it with a more precise laser view, right? Because Mercury is the way that we take information from the left side of our brain and process it into the right side. Venus, in its essence too, has to do with our feelings, okay? When we look to the moon is our emotions, but Venus is where our feelings come from, and our feelings will activate an emotion. So this could very much be a very dark space, as a new moon is for everybody, where, you find yourself in this kind of quiet moment, you kind of find yourself in a little bit of solitude for a minute, and, we just had the solstice, so we're getting into the fall season where things do decay and they do die. We're prepping for the winter, and things are falling and they're getting more quiet, and there's less light that's happening in the northern hemisphere. That is not for the southern, but for the northern, where there is a time for us to actually go into this quiet, dark space, I feel, and really analyze and really look at these dynamics. And then you can plant a seed, because once you let go of a lot of this energy, you're now able to plant the seed for something new to begin. Okay, and so we look across the chart to Neptune right here in Pisces, which is retrograde, and you do want to be careful, and you do want to look out for your loved ones that could fall into easily addictions or kind of dynamics that would become soothing to process this energy, because again, Virgo can be quite critical, especially when we have Mercury in it, right? We can be so critical about ourselves. We can be critical about the way we look. We can be critical about our partners, right? So it can be too much to handle sometimes, where people will go and they'll go into the dark side of the Neptune, where they want to get away from the reality, right? So they use things like alcohol and drugs, right? That kind of blends away all the hurt and the pain that can come with Virgo sometimes. So the antidote to that is, like, you can do spiritual techniques, right? You can meditate. You can go for, walks in the woods. You can go for a swim. Like, whatever brings you some type of soothing healing is what we suggest here. But the biggest thing too is using empathy, because Pisces energy does have a lot of compassion for people. It has a lot of empathy and forgiveness. And the biggest healing that you could bring while you're going through this dark phase of the sun and the moon right now is to allow yourself to feel the emotions and allow them to go through you. And just forgive yourself and forgive other people. Like, even the tarot reading pointed out very, very clearly, like, that is the way to move forward, and that is the way to get where you want to go. Okay, so we still have, also, Saturn is still squaring the node right here. And I was really looking at this because it's an aspect that we want to pay attention to until Saturn moves into Pisces, because it's very important for us right now. And Saturn will not make its perfect square to Uranus, right? We had 3 perfect squares last year, but it's not going to make one this year. But it's very close. It's only a degree apart, right? 19 degrees Aquarius, 18 Wind Taurus. So basically now this square, Saturn is asking you to look at the structures and to look at the projects you've been working on, and look at the foundation in the Aquarius part of your chart and what you've been working for and towards, right? And it probably has some type of humanitarian themes. It might have, some themes about how you're objectively deciding to go about your life in a new way. You could be changing your friendship dynamics. You could be becoming more eccentric and individual in your nature and kind of stepping into your own authority. But it's a long process, right? Like, a spiritual awakening takes usually a long time. And anything with Saturn anywhere in the chart is going to take a long time for us to process. But it's getting a push right now because it's squaring Uranus and Taurus, and Uranus is just going to bring a radical change for you in a forward-moving motion, very fast. And it's also squaring the South Node in Scorpio. So Debbie had talked about letting go of attachments that aren't good for you. And it's not like you're forgetting people, right? Like, because say this is a relationship again, because it is Libra season. So it does evoke a lot of relationship dynamics up for us, and how our friendships are, our coworkers, our business partners, our lovers, whatever, right? Children. And I've said this in previous videos too, the South Node in Scorpio, it is about attachments, because that's what Scorpio wants to do. It wants to attach to something. But we also have to understand, every time that we attach to something, there's also now invoking a process of that decay and inevitable death. Whether that comes from old age, or whether that comes from, like, a marriage has crossed its time and it was time to end. There's always some type of lesson in that dynamic. And you don't have to just, like, let go of the person or the thing and pretend it was never there. It's really about integrating those lessons and those attachments now, so that you can evolve and move forward. Because all of these lessons are really, really important for you to basically accumulate just a wealth of knowledge and wisdom over your whole life. Just because something doesn't work out or became doesn't mean that you're not taking some type of valuable lesson on this. And that's why we get more wise with age, right? That's why we get more wise with more time, or the more times that we're vulnerable with ourselves, and we allow ourselves.
I feel like that's definitely that Chiron energy from the beginning of the reading, right? We had this conversation, right, Makayla, where we visited the idea that Chiron can have Virgo qualities, right? We had a really deep discussion
Yes.
about this.
Yes.
And I think that this is a perfect example of how us ignoring even ourselves to overgive, right? In service, Virgo energy, to our detriment is really going to stand out, especially this new moon. So if you've been suffering from workaholicism, you're definitely feeling it in your body this time during the new moon. If you have been ignoring your health, Virgo energy as well, it might be manifesting because Virgo rules the gut, right? So it might be gallstones, right? Ulcers. If you're, maybe you weren't doing too bad and it's just like some uncomfortability there, some intestinal issues, but you're definitely going to see it. Want to avoid burnout syndrome, right? Especially if you're in those line of work in the healthcare industry, in the service industry, restaurants, anything like that. Make sure that you take your time, take those 10 seconds to breathe before you are reacting, because Libra accesses with Aries, right? So you don't want to be in that low vibrational archetype and drop a pen and start like, for no reason, because then you're letting out all these untransmuted energies that you could potentially use to manifest something better in your life, but because you're too lost in the unsatisfaction of the moment, you forget that actually there's so much beautiful potential in the energy. So we want to make sure that we don't oversee our opportunities because we're too lost in the unsatisfaction of now, or the unsatisfaction of the future, or the unsatisfaction of the past.
I think also, like, while we're in Libra season, it would be quite normal if people start acting through extremes, because Libra is inherently not balanced. And we like to think that Libra is balanced as an archetype, but it's not.
No.
And it has to learn about its balance through the extremes, the scales. So if you're going through the next month until Scorpio season and you're like, right? Just remind yourself, oh, I'm in Libra season, right? And I'm acting a little too extreme, and then you can weigh out your scales a little bit more. Eventually that sun is going to become into that opposition. It's going to hit the opposition to Jupiter. Again, that the opposition to Jupiter could really tip the scales. And I do think this is a time too where information is going to come out, secrets are going to come out, because Mercury retrograde is in its home sign. It's in Virgo, right? The ruler of this new moon is in Virgo, so Venus is answering to Mercury. Mercury is like basically, he's not the ruler of the chart because Venus really is, but Venus is in Virgo answering to Mercury, right? Mm-hmm. The depositor of the chart. And then also we have Mars in Gemini, which loves to provoke some gossip, right? It loves to poke the gossip, right? So this could very much be a month where there's just a lot of this going on in the news, in the media, right? We're seeing this,
and in work situations and family situations. You guys want to make sure that you don't get pulled in to that Gemini Mars retrograde. This is your biggest test of discernment right now, especially if you work in bigger groups. Understand yourself and your position, and when it's okay to speak, when it's okay to withdraw, and when it's okay to react, and what is the proper reaction. Because remember, Gemini is emotion and logic, and sometimes they don't always agree, so you don't want to outburst, say something that you may have felt at the moment that you don't feel on an everyday basis, and really shoot yourself in the foot here, because I feel like there's going to be, because we are hitting those balances with the Libra sun and the Libra moon. You don't want to get yourself caught in somebody else's game who's trying to throw you off balance, and they're trying to throw that wrench into your machinery. Just learn to not give these people that reaction that they want, so that you can leave it in God's hands, that true surrender energy, because right now is time, I think, for rectification.
So we have 2 T-squares in the chart too that I want to point out, which will speak to that, which will speak to the stability. So the first one is Saturn square the nodes, right? The resolution point is the south node. You always look to, the resolution point is to the left of the planet that's squaring the nodes, for those who don't know the evolutionary approach. So you'll sit on Saturn in your chart. You'll go to the Scorpio South Node. You'll understand what it is that you need to detach from or let go. That doesn't mean everything in your life. That just means the toxic stuff. You let that go. And you go to the North Node in Taurus, which is stability, and it's patience, and it's taking your time for reaction, right? And it's building a solid foundation, because Taurus is slow. I know Taurus now very well, and it takes time. Very slow. It's just like...
We're just comfortable. We're just comfortable.
Yeah. The other T-square is Mars in Gemini is making a square to the Venus in Virgo, and also the Neptune in Pisces, and that's shooting it off, right? That T-square shoots off into the Sagittarius house. So if you think about this, your Mars in Gemini section might be getting stimulated with options. It might be getting stimulated by people using their words in a very sharp and harsh way, and ticking you off and provoking you and poking the bear, through words, through a text. You might get a text that's a slip up.
Libra does not like confrontation. Libra does not like confrontation.
No, but Jupiter in Aries does.
Yeah. Right? So there's that extreme right there, right? Already tipping.
Absolutely. Do I react? Do I not react? Right? And so if you look at the T-square with Mars and Gemini, which is going to go retrograde, so you might be going over these same, whatever's popping up now for you in your personal life, you're probably going to be working through for the next 7-ish months that are left with the Mars cycle. And you can let go, you can use compassion and forgiveness with the Neptune, right? You can be discerning about what it is you can and cannot be compassionate about, right, within your limits, and what's healing for you and what's comfortable. And whatever excess baggage, shoot it off into Sagittarius world, which is just use the bow and arrow like Sagittarius would, and just like
set your intention. Let it. You know what? I actually got a really new, interesting perspective on compassion. I'm really glad you brought it up. I read in a book that, long story short, that in order to give compassion, someone must have wronged you. And as they wronged you, you can then show compassion, because you manifest because karma is real, right? It will manifest in a point where you can do the exact same to them. And it is up to you to show the compassion that they did not show you. Right. And I think that's a very powerful instinction of showing how powerful you are as a person to give that compassion, to give that forgiveness. And what we were taught was weakness is really power. And where Libra really wants empowerment for us, because they want justice, right? And even though justice is blind, justice is not always cruel.
Right.
And that's where I think compassion is key right now. Sorry, go ahead.
That's amazing. No, you're totally right with that. The saying, an eye for an eye makes the whole world blind.
Yes, absolutely.
Right? And people should use the power of Libra that is diplomatic, and that is fair, and that is harmonizing, and that is compromising. Right? Those are the good qualities about Libra. Don't overextend yourself to the point where you feel taken advantage of, but
never at your detriment.
Right. That's why we communicate, or we should learn our communication skills, which is why I've been promoting the app Clubhouse on my channel so much, right? Because you are basically able to practice healthy debating with other individuals.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Without it escalating, because you're talking to somebody in South Africa and another person in England, and what are you gonna do? I'm gonna start swimming over there.
Right? Aries energy. I'm gonna swim over there, and I'm gonna outswim you. And then when I get there, after my Michael Phelps energy, I'm gonna whoop your ass.
And I sleep for 2 weeks. Then I'm gonna come over. Right.
Such competition. I love it.
Yeah.
I got Aries and Mercury, so I love it. I was like, I could do the competition sometimes, and it's just like for the extreme part of it, right? For the fun of it, because we should be able to intellectualize like that and not feel drained afterwards, not feel like we were fed bullshit like they do from the media, like they do with the news that they want to put in front of our face. It's so funny, Mercury retrograde energy, right? I was just thinking about how when COVID started, because I was still working in the restaurant until we opened up in the middle of 2020. I think it was like April, May-ish here in California, like soft open the restaurant. My son's daycare lady, Ita, she's a blessing. She's a Peruvian, but she left nursing to do to run her own daycare full time. And so I really trusted her with my son, but like when COVID hit and just the way that she reacted to it, which I mean, Libra, right? There's extremes, and then there's like, and I want to say that I'm the respectfully don't give a fuck type. Yeah. respectfully Taurus energy. But she was really like bringing my son to her almost scared me, because I was just like, there is a way to get spiritual immunity without having to manifest it through the fear that they're trying to project onto us, right? I'm not saying it's not real. I'm saying that you can manifest it and it can be very fucking real, right?
Yeah.
But but that's a part of your energy. That's a part of what are you able and willing to receive in your body? What are you willing and able to transmute in your body? And I was thinking about it, like I had a really dominant vision of that earlier before we tapped in and everything, seeing her that first time during COVID and remembering that she had news on all day, every day. And just looking at my son and like recently, a year and a half ago, or even earlier this year, I was considering going back to 9 to 5ing it. And because I always give my son the option, because he's a little person, a whole other person, no matter how many years he's been on this planet. I try to give him the option. I told him, do you want to go back? He goes, I don't want to go back to that place. And maybe at the time, I didn't understand, but I feel like this retrograde and review period really opened my eyes. Like, is that the kind of environment that you wanted your son growing up in? Do you want to be that ghost parent? Do you want to be and then it made me appreciate that me and you get to do these collaborations and show other people. It's like, you know what? We're here making the same day-to-day decisions that you are. We're here trying to figure out the next best thing and look at God and the universe provides.
Yep. And that's so wild, because Mars in the Gemini archetype is the environment, the immediate environment. So that would have been his, you putting him there, and then the choice, and then Mars being the action, taking the initiative and the action, and you talking about it with him. So it's completely on point with the transits, but we're never surprised. You know what I mean? It's never surprising for us, but it's good for people to understand real life scenarios and situations, and how you can start to make connections through the astrology and the tarot to really what you're living day to day. Yeah. Overall, the last thing I just wanted to point out, actually, just about this new moon, is that Mercury retrograde will be making a trine to Pluto. So after all of this processing and all of this looking and analyzing at what's going on and discerning and the complicated things coming up, it is an opportunity when the trine aspect is such a fluid, easy opportunity for you to really dig in deep and really make a true transformation in your life, because that's what Pluto wants you to do. And something that's going to last. It's a really nice flowing aspect if you allow it to do what it needs to do. And you know, Eris is also like squaring Pluto. So if you are now making choices that are healthier for yourself and other people around you aren't used to it, you might be triggering them, you know, and they might not be used to it, and you might not even need to, you know what I mean? So it's just like, it's definitely a time to focus really on the relationship that you have to yourself first and inwardly, and really make that a stable ground. And then you can go out and partner with other people, as the Libra season will want you to do, want you to start partnering. And so does in Saturn and Aquarius, especially when Saturn moves direct, you know? So yeah.
I feel like in that aspect, like, like if we apply tarot into, let's say, moving out of Virgo season into Libran season, just to like, because that's the Hermit card, right? So we're going to be moving out of that solitude, moving out of that healing of those Chiron wounds, and looking for the star in the jar, which is your Aquarian energy that we keep pulling on from Saturn, and allowing us to move into that Wheel of Fortune moment, so that we could start shifting and bringing in blessings, that trine blessings that we just finished off with as well. So once again, you cannot say that the universe does not deliver confirmation, right? Like, this is all, we're all living in the same world, in the same energy, trying to figure it out day to day. Like,
yep.
We're all just, and Mina, bless her heart, I know that I can't see the chat right now. I told Mina the other day, be careful, remember, with our words, because a lot of us, you know, we're all on this spiritual journey. We're all about ascension. A lot of us have gone far and beyond, and we're doing ancestor healing and transgression, and healing those 7 generations forward and back on a more precedent basis. We don't want to reincarnate, you know, so be careful not to allow yourself to bind yourself to lower vibrational contrast. Look, you heard that? As contract and contrast. Okay, you know, that was direct downloads here. Channeling. Like, make sure that you don't allow yourself to do that, because remember, the universe doesn't remember if you're joking or not. You know, it's a vibrational frequency that you're conjuring up, because it takes so many parts to speak. I was watching a very famous tarot reader a while back. Her name is Daisy, professional high priestess, and she was reading off of a tarot. It's an oracle deck by the Sibyls, but she was reading out of the book, and she was talking about all of the different components that it takes to just create a word, just to speak in general, because there's so many moving compartments in your throat, in your pipes, in your larynx, everything that is opening up just to create the air. And then, you know, your tongue moving in to make the sounds, all the different moving compartments just to say hello.
Yeah, it's crazy, yeah.
And people don't think about this. And I think that's Mercury energy at its best. Like, remember that all the different components that it takes for you to conjure up what you are speaking on a day-to-day basis. Virgo energy right now, Gemini energy. Do not create and manifest a situation for yourself because you couldn't speak your truth. You couldn't be authentic. You couldn't hold that authority, right? That you were saying. It's funny because I didn't point it out and I didn't tell you, but the last the last card that we left in the bottom of the deck was the 10th house authority.
Wow, and so that's Saturn energy. And Saturn is authority, and in Aquarius, it's being an individual.
So we're like
holding your individual authority.
So like I want to say that everything that we have discussed today has definitely come full circle, and I really hope. Yeah, I really hope that. Here, let me turn this way. I really hope we helped some people out there as far as what to expect this weekend. It's gonna be quite a bumpy ride with that Librian energy, but just know that you got all the tools and all the components to really find yourself and allow yourself to continue to push forward and persevere. Make sure that you're not giving up on yourself. You're not giving up on the journey, whether, it's a soulmate journey, whether you're going through your healing journey, whether you're going through your ascension path, your career path, it's all the same here. Just make sure that whatever you're working on, you're doing it to the best of your ability and you're authentic in it, and everything else will fall, and all the components that you need will come together.
Absolutely. Amen.
Right? Amen.
Thank you.
That's so funny. Somebody asked me the other day, they said, when you say amen, what does that mean? I was like, to me, that somebody is speaking truth. Because God taught me that if there is truth that is being spoken and it's the spoken word of God, then you need to say amen. Amen, right? Thank you. I'm like, we can amen astrology, okay? Yes, we can. Tarot as well. It's like God is here in all ways and shapes and form. And I think that it's so funny that they asked me that, like, is that when you say amen, because I grew up Catholic. So it's like, and then I have I have people that I went to high school with that, like, when I was first starting like my tarot journey, and they were like, oh, I can't get a tarot reading, that it's against my religion. And I'm like, bitch, you were selling your pussy in high school. Shut the fuck up. Mercury retrograde shit. I'm sorry. I know it came out a little crazy, but it's just like, this is what I mean by that Libra extremes and them Libra confrontations. It's like, come on, what are you standing for? Yeah. What are you truly representing here? Because you don't need to judge people for what they do behind closed doors, but don't sit there with this facade and be like, oh, tarot's against my religion.
You never have to apologize for your truth.
It's friend, it's like, it's like, especially it's like, we knew each other on a deep level like that. That's why, I never but I do express it because that's how I feel, because I actually really do connect to my spirituality, and I really do connect to that nature as well. And I don't mind. I really don't mind, but it's just like, can you be 100% true all the way through? Because you could have just been like, I'm not interested, and I would have been more respectful of that answer than you giving me something falsified, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like
it's like healing journey for people. It's like they have to get comfortable, and it takes everybody a different process and a different timeline. And
so I just feel like if we could push through those barriers that are keeping technically ourselves, cut down and strapped down, because it's not about whether we did that or not. It's whether do you forgive yourself for that? Are you okay with that in your life? Because if you are, then that's great, and you could pursue forward, and you don't have to hide behind religious facades. You don't have to hide behind, and then you could then you have that real door that opens up to true healing and true acceptance health, like you could do it all day if you want to, like just as long as you're happy and healthy with yourself first. And that doesn't, it's like one of my favorite quotes, it's like, okay, religion is for people who are scared of hell, and spirituality is for people who've been to hell and back and still managed to be a better person.
Yep.
And that's what we are constantly doing. We have came so many lifetimes and burned through the fire. Don't hold yourself back now.
Yep.
Live every part of you, because there are parts of you that you probably went through in another lifetime that you're judging that person for.
Yep.
Like that same persecution, we all, like all of us have witch in our, especially us that practice this. You know, we all got witch in our ancestry somewhere, and that comes with a whole other issue and a whole other trauma, right? Being lynched, being burned at the stake, being, you know, all that good stuff. But we're here.
Yep.
And
Debbie, I'm gonna get you on Clubhouse.
Oh, I know, I really do. I have to do that. And we're gonna move forward exceptionally.
Yep. I thought that you had good messages today. It was very positive.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you. So everybody, listen, I want people to subscribe to your channel. So you'll be tagged on my channel. Subscribe to Debbie at Star of the Universe, and you're also on Instagram, so you can find her. And that's with 2 R's, but you'll see it down below. And don't forget too that the first 50 subscribers that were on here today are going to get a free Oracle deck, so you can send us a DM. My email will be down below. You can also find Debbie's contact info off her chart, but you have to subscribe to both of our channels. And I'm just going to say thank you for being here and doing an awesome reading and having great insight and knowledge and just info and advice.
No, I thank you too. It's like I've been waiting for this for a long time, and it's like, hopefully we do this again soon, because I love seeing the tarot and the astrology come together like this, and I love to see that we have so many different platforms that could be reached, and the healing that we could provide together. So it's always a pleasure, Makayla.
Thank you. So everybody take care. Enjoy the Libra new moon. Okay, be easy on yourself. And we'll be back again soon.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
The recording has stopped.